During the day, a troop of baboons is a heavily armed military force always ready to tear any predator apart. With razor-sharp fangs even longer than an adult male lion's. But when the sun goes down, their arrogance disappears completely. Because darkness is when the phantom leopards begin their massacre. And the battlefield is the deadly 90-degree vertical cliffs. A solitary leopard would never dare to confront a baboon troop in the sunlight. The disparity in numbers and aggressive pack mentality always puts the leopard at a disadvantage. However, the law of survival always harbors decisive blind spots. The fatal weakness of these aggressive primates is their very eyes. Baboons are colorblind and have extremely poor vision at night. To ensure safety, the troop always chooses precarious cliffs to sleep through the night. They believe no creature can climb a vertical cliff in the dark. But they have underestimated the extraordinary biological design of their enemy. The leopard not only possesses a superior tapetum lucidum reflective layer in its eyes, which helps it see through the night 6 times clearer than a human. Furthermore, the leopard's skeletal structure is a masterpiece of evolution. Flexible collarbones combined with rippling chest muscles give them ultimate climbing abilities. Their claws can hook tightly into the tiniest crevices on the cliff face, defying gravity in a staggering way on impossibly steep surfaces. While the baboon troop is deep in blind, unguarded sleep, a dark leopard silhouette silently clings to the cold cliff surface. This is not a high-speed chase on the flat savanna at all. Any miscalculation, no matter how small, will cost a life. The leopard must move upward without making a single tiny sound. Because if one baboon wakes up and screams an alarm, the entire panicked waking troop could drag the leopard down into the abyss with them. The moment of the kill must take place in absolute silence. The leopard closes in on a massive male baboon sleeping soundly on the precarious edge. It launches a precise bite right into the unlucky victim's throat. Sharp teeth lock onto the baboon's windpipe like a pair of pliers, allowing no cry for help to be uttered in the still, dark night. The victim struggles in despair but cannot break the grip of death. Its body quickly goes limp and completely loses control due to lack of oxygen. While the other baboons lying just a few meters away still sleep soundly, unaware. The success of the hunt does not only lie in formidable physical strength. It lies in the ability to analyze space and control the prey in extremely tight terrain. When the prey has completely stopped breathing, the leopard's challenge is not yet over. It must hold tightly onto a baboon carcass that weighs nearly as much as itself, continuing to climb down the steep cliff backwards or hide the victim in a secluded cave. It absolutely cannot let hyenas or lions catch the scent of this precious meal. Cold patience and insane climbing skills have completely turned the tables. From an underdog by day, the leopard becomes the most terrifying nightmare by night. A hidden hunter thoroughly exploiting the gap in night vision. Wild nature never has an absolute powerhouse. There are only creatures that know how to exploit the biological weaknesses of their opponents at the right time. When you possess aggressive pack strength but become blind in the dark, the safety on the highest cliff simply turns into a deadly trap. That is how the leopard became the greatest climbing assassin of the night. But the story of the Midnight Cliff does not end with a single kill. The real challenge unfolds when the first light of dawn finally arrives. The baboon troop wakes up, realizing a massive male has vanished into thin air. Panic spreads like wildfire. They scream, searching frantically along the steep, rocky cliff edge. How could a 30 kilograms male disappear without making a single sound? This is where the leopard's ultimate psychological warfare truly begins. It doesn't just hunt, it leaves behind an invisible tension in the air. The baboon's highly complex social structure is immediately thrown into absolute chaos. A missing guard means their safe fortress has been fatally breached. They stare down into the dark abyss, searching for any trace of blood. But the phantom hunter is far too meticulous to leave such obvious clues behind. The leopard is currently resting in a hidden cave just below the troop. It listens to the panicked screams with cold, calculated indifference. Why didn't it drag the heavy carcass all the way to the top? Because climbing up with extra weight is a suicidal move on this vertical wall. But climbing down is actually a much more difficult biological challenge. Most felines are built perfectly for climbing up, not descending. Their claws curve backward, providing zero grip when moving headfirst down a steep cliff. A single slip means a fatal fall onto the jagged rocks below. So, how does this leopard navigate the steep descent with a 30 kilograms carcass? The secret lies in a counterintuitive anatomical adaptation of its hind legs. Its ankles can rotate much further than a typical house cat, allowing it to climb down backward, gripping the rock face with immense power. Every single step downward is a masterclass in slow, precise muscle control. Gravity wants to pull them both down into the waiting abyss. But the leopard's core muscles lock tight, defying the immense downward pull. It finally reaches a secluded ledge, completely hidden from the frantic baboons above. This hidden cache is crucial. Because down at the bottom of the cliff, another threat is already waiting. A clan of spotted hyenas has picked up the faint scent of fresh blood. They pace relentlessly, looking up at the unreachable rocky fortress. A leopard on flat ground would easily lose its hard-earned meal to these scavengers. But up here, the hyenas can only whine in sheer frustration. They are built for endurance running, not for vertical rock climbing. The leopard watches them from above with cold and absolute calmness. It has successfully outsmarted two of the most dangerous species on the savanna, bypassing the baboon's aggression and evading the hyena's relentless thievery. All by simply mastering the steep vertical axis of the midnight cliff. This evolutionary arms race has pushed the leopard to its absolute physical limits. It sacrifices size and raw power for unparalleled agility and stealth. The baboons will eventually find a new, higher cliff to sleep on tonight. But they will never truly feel safe in the dark ever again. Because the phantom of the cliff has proven that nowhere is out of reach. When the sun sets, the rules of the African savanna are completely rewritten. The strong become blind victims. And the solitary climber becomes the king of the vertical world. The night hides its movements. The cliff protects its prize. And absolute silence is its most effective and efficient weapon. A perfect biological machine designed to exploit the darkest corners of nature. It eats in peace, knowing that tomorrow, the harsh game of survival will start all over again. The baboons will guard their troop with even more intense aggression by day. But the leopard is always patient enough to wait for the sun to disappear. Because the shadows will always hide the greatest assassin of the night. Outside, daylight brings noise. Inside the cave, only silent survival remains.